Oh, thank you for stopping by to hear this beautiful and true story. How could a very brilliant lady suddenly become a known beggar? In her church, she pestered everyone, including pastors. She went from person to person, asking for money to just eat and feed her 2 kids. Some people beg and receive, but Jessie's case was just different. How could her father hate his daughter so badly? How? Hated by father, rejected by husband, thrown into prison, and finally became a beggar? But God ain't done with Jessie yet. No matter the many roadblocks along her path, God wasn't yet done with her. Jessie's story is one shocking, true story that is clearly unbelievable. Please come with me. Let's see Jessie and her true life adventures. Yes, please, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Also get to the comment section. Let's read your thoughts on this true life story. Many years ago, Jessie was one of the most brilliant students in her university. She graduated and got a job with a federal government parastatal. Jessie wasn't just great at her work. She was warm and friendly. She could easily be trusted. Soon, one Obinna spotted her and liked her. He wanted her hand in marriage. Jessie loved him and accepted to marry him. However, she wanted Obinna to go to school. He didn't have money to go to the university. Jessie sponsored him, as in, she paid his school fees and gave him money for all necessities. He soon graduated and they got married. From this point, it's as if trouble located Jessie and made her its headquarters. Within another 2 years, Jessie had twin babies, a boy and a girl. They were both happy at the arrival of the babies. Everything seemed to be going well. Jessie went back to work after maternity leave. She had a good nanny that stood in for her while she went to work. She also ran 2 master's programs which she concluded successfully in record time. Jessie's department trusted her a whole lot. Some payment was made to her department. Her boss handed over the money to her. It was 14 million naira. One day during lunch break at work, Jessie's colleagues were discussing some side hustles that they termed lucrative. She asked questions and Hakim assured her that his own side hustle business is very good and that he himself had been in the business for 2 years earning good money. She would later find out it was a multi-level marketing business. Hakim got some others who were interested like Jessie and invited them to attend the seminar somewhere in town at the weekend. Jessie had surmised that she needed some more money to give her family a better life. Watching her kids flourish and Franklin grow is pure joy to her, but she needs more money to give them a better life. Her dream was to give them far more than what she received from home. Was this ever going to be? Hakim called Jessie that fateful Sunday afternoon on phone and said, "Hello, Jessie. I am calling to remind you of the business seminar holding at Marita Resort by 5 p.m. today." Jessie said, "Yes, I remember. I will soon get set to go. I have just a few things to tidy up, then I will go. Marita is just 10 minutes away from here." Obinna, her husband, is suddenly becoming gloomy these days. He lashes out at her for no cause. He is almost always looking for an opportunity to get angry and unleash it on her. His business doesn't seem to be doing well. Jessie gave him an advice to diversify his business a year ago, but he ignored the advice. Now, just one government's change in policy has swept his business almost completely off. The family now relies solely on Jessie's salary. Obinna is too full of himself to take this, too proud to appreciate Jessie for all she does. Jessie stood with him. She gave him money over and over again to help his business, but it kept spiraling down. Jessie came back from work one evening and Obinna was nowhere to be found. His mother and siblings told him, "Obinna, things have turned bad for you, and we suspect seriously that it is because you married Jessie instead of marrying Amaka." Obinna has been musing over these words. Jessie tried to reach him and begged him to come back, but no. Obinna said, "Jessie, I am done with a so-called marriage. My life was far better before you came. Now it's all bad luck. I don't want again. Please, enough." Jessie asked, "Obi, when I sponsored your university education, I was good luck, right? You have a business downturn, and I have become your bad luck? Obi, think, Obi." Jessie cried and cried. She cried. Yes, Obinna abandoned Jessie and the twins and disappeared into thin air. The Amaka had since married, so he went and shacked up with a very hot chick named Tiv. Tiv is smart in these things. She sucked him dry and abandoned him when she was sure he had nothing more to offer. Flourish and Franklin are in nursery school already. Jessie could teach them at home, but she needed to go to work to earn her monthly salary. Life suddenly took a new turn for Jessie and her children. Hakim called again, and Jessie was already on her way. At the seminar, some of their colleagues were there, and during questions and answers, Jessie asked questions up and down. The bottom line, according to the presentation, is if you pump in money like 3 million naira, you will start at an advantageous top, a top level which would help you earn bigger and faster. The presenter was so good and had all the answers. He and his colleagues showed the brand new cars they now ride, which they claimed the company gave them when they qualified for cars. It all seemed rosy. To Jessie, it was just the beautiful rose petals she saw. She forgot the thorns. Jessie is highly mathematical in her approach to issues. She was a mathematics major and great at it. 3 million naira, and she would start from the top and start earning big and faster. The leaders at the meeting kept giving all the flowery stories and reasons you should start big. Jessie saw all the reasons and agreed with them all. There was just one problem. Jessie didn't have 3 million naira cash home or abroad. The seminar ended and Jessie went home. She couldn't sleep. How was she going to raise the 3 million naira? The network marketing guru that presented at the seminar said, "Borrow if you need to, but for goodness sake, don't let this moment pass you by. The poor are those who pass over opportunities repeatedly." Jessie kept repeating, POOR, pass over opportunities repeatedly. She shouted, "No, I cannot be poor. I cannot pass over this juicy opportunity." Jessie decided to take 3 million naira from the money her boss kept in her account for the department. The guru had promised that she would make the money and replace it within a few months. In a few days, she registered, paid the money, and received the products. Oh, and one room in her house was filled with the products. Jessie came back from work and the products were just sitting down there. No one called her to buy. The guru had said that people are looking for the products from different parts of the country and all around the globe. Jessie had not received calls for the products. Jessie's friend and colleague Ndidi came to see her in the evening. Jessie had invited her over. Jessie said, Ndidi, I thought by now I would hardly have a breathing space as people rush these products. The ones I carried to the office, nobody bought. Madam Ekpo, the cleaner, collected one for her child that had been coughing. How am I sure she would pay me for the product? She said she would pay 50,000 naira over 10 months. I am at least happy that she agreed to take it. No other person agreed to buy you. I even offered them to take the products and pay over 3 months or whenever. Indeed, I'm just getting sick of these products lying around here. It's been over 2 weeks now, and all I have sold is the one that cleaner Madam April took. Indeed said, Jessie, business tycoon. Why have you not marketed me now? Jessie said, each time I came to your office, you were busy with one person or another. That's why I invited you home. So which one will you buy? In short, you can even register so as to be getting the products cheaper. And he said, register? And they would give me all these products. I wouldn't be able to sell them all. Anyway, Seth, how much did you use to register? Jessie said, just pay 3 million naira and they would give you these products and then start paying you every month. They even said if you do fast in registering people and selling the products, the company can just dash you a brand new car. So I want you to join me in this business. It is very, very lucrative. I would like us to be the first two in our office to get the brand new cars. Didi laughed. Oh, Jessie, the Jessie. You are a businesswoman. I don't have stamina for talking to people to buy this or that. Jessie said, but you are talking to me now. This is the best way to make money in our today's economy. We can no longer rely on just our salary. Ndidi said, it is true, but will you help me sell and register people for me to help me move fast? Jessie said, yes, now. We shall be working together as a team. How much is registration again, Jessie? Did you say 3 million naira? Jessie said, yes, it's 3 million naira, so that you start at a top level and start earning big. Jessie just vomited what she heard, not that she had seen any earnings. Ndidi said, Jessie, where do you want me to get that kind of money from? I am not doing this thing, I beg, I'm not doing. Jessie said, don't let fear keep you down. POOR simply means passing over opportunities repeatedly. You don't want to pass this opportunity and become poor? Ndidi countered. That I don't have the money is that I don't have it. I cannot afford the business. Is it not simple enough? Jessie said, at least go and think about it and think about how to raise the money. Even Aliko Dangote borrows money to make money. Let money work for you. Ndidi got up to go and said, Jessie, I don't really understand this, but maybe when you succeed, I will consider it. Jessie said, you are my friend. That's why I invited you, for us to join hands and succeed together. Anyway, no wahala, I have left my old level. I have joined the Millionaires Club through this business, said Jessie. Unknown to Jessie, something was beginning to cook in her department. They all know her salary. Yes, she's a manager, but she has a boss in that department. Because some colleagues attended the seminar with her, they know she started the business with 3 million naira. How did Jessie get the money? Her husband Obinna abandoned her since. Rumor has it that he is bedridden. So how did Jessie get the 3 million naira for this her business? They whispered among themselves. Soon, she was asked by her boss to produce the 40 million naira. Jessie had just 11 million naira. Hell broke loose on her from this point. She eventually appeared before the disciplinary committee, who gave her 1 week to produce the money or be handed over to the police. 1 week came and passed. Jessie did everything she knew to raise that 3 million naira, but had the doors shut at her face every time. She reached out to the Guru Network marketing presenter, and he had no help to give her. Instead, he advised, "Jessie, this is business. We are all responsible for our business. Go out and market the products. Sell them. People are waiting for you to talk to them about the products. Go and sell them." And he dropped the phone on her. Finally, Jessie was handed over to the police and they threw her into their custody. She was later sentenced to prison. Jessie would spend 3 years in prison. She came out when the prison term was over. She didn't just go to prison. She lost her job and lost her self-esteem. Jessie went back to her father's house where her kids were. Her mom had passed on while she was in prison. Her journey into the mysteries of misery just started. The Jessie, who could do much both for others and for herself, could not afford basic food for her children. She resorted to begging. If you came to church, then you must know Jessie, because she was going from one church member to another, begging. Pastors were there helping her too. Members helped and helped until they got tired. Some would start dodging her after service. Her stories were not really adding up. Jessie was distraught. What could she do? One day, someone connected her to a lady chairman of a microfinance bank. She left Lokoja immediately to go to Asaba to pick up the appointment as manager of the bank. The lady gave her a driver and accommodation. Everything moved on well for months. Jessie put in her best and the bank started doing very well. Then, the chairman wanted to bring in her own relation to take over from Jessie without prior information. That created a rift between them, and the chairman threw her out unceremoniously, accusing her of siphoning money from the bank. Chairman kicked her out with the only clothes she had on her that day and locked up the apartment she gave her. She didn't pick any of her things from the residence the chairman gave her. Nothing. She went back to her father's house with Franklin and Flourish, where she and her kids were no longer welcome. Begging Pro Max then started. She was desperate and despondent this time. One day she went to a private primary school to see if they could employ her. They gave her immediate employment when they understood she was a mathematics guru. She was making the kids fall in love with both school and mathematics. The proprietress practically left the school in her hands because Jessie was just good. Everyone that knew her was happy that finally she was settled. Unknown to all, that was rejoicing too early. One day, the proprietress called her and narrated that she had some drinks, some wonderful drinks that had been in her store and needed to be sold. This time around, Jessie was feeling upbeat and felt she could just handle anything. She got the products and used her spare time to market them. She sold a whole lot until one day a group of shop owners came to the school shouting. Fortunately, the proprietress was around. They said they wanted to take her to police and NAFDAC that she sold expired drinks to them. Jessie didn't know she was innocent. She escaped and never went back to that school. Jessie started trudging the streets begging. She would buy stuff on credit. She was owing almost everyone she could owe. She was most miserable. Day in, day out. Night in, night out. Lack, shame, hunger were Jessie's portion. One day in the midst of this hunger, being tossed to and fro, Jessie saw a young man she had known in church and made a most strange request. She said, "Daniel, please, I am looking for a husband. Do you have any husband for me?" Daniel was amused and said, "Sister Jessie, I beg, I don't have anyone who..." Jessie continued, "I don't know what's funny about what I asked, but please, I am very serious. I need a husband." Daniel paused and said, "Well, I think I would talk to a relation of mine. He lives far from here." "Yes, this same Lokoja, he lives in this same Lokoja, but far away, at the outskirts of town. Let me even call him and see." This is really amazing. Remember, it's a true story. Daniel's uncle answered the call and he spoke with Jessie immediately. In 2 days' time, Jessie was on her way to meet Engineer Dafo, who is from Senegal. Dafo lost his first wife after 2 children. The moment he set eyes on Jessie, who was looking more like a beggar, a mad beggar, than a bride, Dafo fell in love with her. He took on Jessie from that point on. He asked Jessie to write out the names of all her creditors anywhere. Engineer Dafo, who owns an upcoming construction company, set out to clear each and every debt that Jessie was owing. Within 3 weeks, he went to Jessie's father to declare his intent and ask what it would traditionally take for her to be his wife. Jessie's dad refused. He said over his dead body would Dafo marry his daughter, Jessie. Jessie's only sister backed her father in refusing for her to marry Engineer Dafo. Dafo pleaded. The man was adamant. He said that the only husband that he knows for Jessie is Obinna. At about this time, Obinna's elder brother called Jessie on the phone and said, "Jessie dear, sorry I have not been in touch all this while. I have been very busy here and there. But now is a good time. I am actually calling for you to come back to your husband Obinna." Jessie shouted, "Come back to who and for what? Are you okay? For years you never cared about me, nor about the children. Now you are looking for me?" Obinna's brother said, "You know Obinna has been bedridden, and I know that marriage is a full-time commitment, for better, for worse. And now is the best time for you to show it. You should come and take care of your husband. He married you, remember?" Jessie said, "You sound like a full-grown man that is out of his mind." Jessie dropped the call. Dafo decided to act fast. He decided he must rent a house for Jessie and the kids at another part of town. They went to a customary court and explained Jessie's ordeal with her father and her husband Obinna. Some of them were in tears. They immediately accepted back the bride price Obinna had paid, which was 500 naira. They gave her a divorce note. Then they called Obinna's brother to come to their office to collect the bride price, that the marriage had been disannulled. Within 8 months, Jessie's father died. Her uncles agreed that they should come for a proper traditional wedding. It was a grand one. Dafoe's people flew in from Senegal to grace the occasion. Dafoe cleared everything called debt that Jessie had. He encouraged her to pursue her PhD. She soon got it and has been lecturing in one of the universities in Nigeria. Today, Jessie has become a professor. A professor. Jessie is blessed, rich, loved crazy by highly successful engineer Dafoe. Everything about Jessie is sweet to Dafoe. He adopted her two kids, Franklin and Flourish. Jessie got pregnant for her loving husband Dafoe in her late 40s and gave birth to a baby boy they named Dafoe Jr. Wow! Could all these have happened to one person? They didn't just happen to Jessie. Some other bad things that befell her were excluded in order to make this story shorter. For to him that is joined to all that living, there is hope. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Please share with us at the comment section what you think of all the miseries Jessie passed through. Do you think she should have gone back to Obina that she trained in school and who later abandoned her and went to shack up with the lady called Steve? Please remember to click the like button. It helps you to know that there is a good story here and they would recommend it to millions of others. Please help our channel grow by clicking the subscribe button. Till we bring you another amazing story, remain truly phenomenal. This is African Folktales ChinChin. Goodbye.